Hi there. In this video, I'm going to be looking at the business planning process, and more specifically, looking at monitoring and evaluating, and finally taking corrective action. So what we're looking at here is in monitoring, this is the actual process of measuring the actual performance of the business against what they plan to perform. Okay, so they need to really, management really need to ask themselves two questions here. Okay, what are the business goals? So what do they want to actually achieve? And then are these goals being met? Have they actually achieved what they said they would? Okay. Now, the whole process of monitoring follows two steps. Okay. So they need to establish performance standards, so benchmarks. So what a quantitative number. Okay, and then they need to compare the actual performance with that forecast performance, with that performance standard. So, for example, if they were to say we want to increase sales by 5% by the end of the year, when the end of the year comes along, they need to actually sit down and look at, well, did we increase sales by 5%? So, did we actually perform how we said we would? Okay. Now, if they haven't, or following on from monitoring, then they'll look at evaluating. So then they have to actually look at, okay, well, let's assess whether we've achieved these goals. Okay. Now they can evaluate a number of things here. They can evaluate their sales. So, like I used in the previous example there. So if they say we're going to increase sales by $1 million by the end of the year, they can go back and actually say, well, did we actually increase sales by $1 million by the end of the year? They can look at budgets and say we're going to either save money or spend money in these areas, or more realistically, look at we're going to have on a month-by-month basis, we're going to hit this number in terms of how much we spend or how much we save. Okay, and by the end of the year, they'll go back and say, okay, well, did we actually do what we said we would in terms of budgets? Okay, and finally, they can also evaluate profit. Okay, so by the end of the financial year, we want to make X amount of dollars in profit. Did we? Yes, no, why not? And if they get to the why not, so why didn't we actually make that amount of profit, then they get to the stage of taking corrective action. Okay, so otherwise known as modifying. Okay, so using all the information, all the data they've got, they will then change the existing plans and use all the information they have, all the brand new information to shape future plans. Okay, they can sit down and say, well, we said we were going to increase sales by 5% by the end of the year. That didn't happen. We only did it by 3%. So then they say, okay, well, in our future plans, we might need to look at ways to, gain that extra 2%. Is it, training staff better? Is it getting new equipment? Is it different marketing? So using what they've got in order to update and shape their future plans, because in the end, if something's not working, they should not carry on with it. Okay? In the end, if something's not working, they need to find the cause, they need to stop it from happening, and they need to change it and stop it from happening again in the future, or else they'll never reach their goals. So thank you very much for watching this very brief video about monitoring and evaluating and taking corrective action. Thank you.